So it is affordable if you are established. If you're just going to jump in feet first, it can be a lot to take on. My son has learned about stocks in his middle school.
Really?
Yes.
Stocks?
Yes.
Man, I cannot think of a more South Florida class to be teaching. Florida man arrested after attempting to use giant inflatable flamingo as getaway vehicle in bank robbery. Welcome to the PPC Living Podcast. My name is Jamin. I'm your first friend in South Florida. Luckily for you, I'm also a real estate agent. The purpose of this podcast is to answer the question of what is it like living in the Palm Beach County area, which really goes all the way from all the way to like Cuesta, all the way down to Boca Raton. And we're going to be talking about kind of the lifestyle and what it is like living here. And today we're very lucky to be joined by Lindsay, and she's lived here for
my whole life.
For her whole life, yeah. So she's got the full perspective here, and she's going to be really kind of unpacking what it's like living here. So, Lindsay, thanks for coming on here today.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, it's very nice. It's a beautiful area. I know Florida is known for its beaches, and it really is a beautiful area. We have nice long piers to go fishing off of if you like fishing. We have the nice beaches if you just want to relax or bring the kids and make some sandcastles. The area itself has a lot of diversity, so it's a good area, just depending on what you're looking for.
Right. So real quick, have you lived in kind of the South Florida area the entire time, or kind of spread out? Like, where all have you been?
No, I've stayed in South Florida. I grew up in Jupiter and Palm Beach Gardens area. So I've been pretty South Florida, here in South Florida the whole time. I don't really travel outside of Florida, so I don't know a lot of differences in other places. But down here, it's a lot of there's a lot of people from everywhere. So it's very diverse. I don't personally feel like I have to travel usually because I meet people from everywhere visiting or relocating, and it's really neat to see a mosaic of people, really.
Yeah, I definitely can see that. How is it like, because you have the perspective of having been here for years, so in what ways has it kind of changed over the previous decades, and in what ways has it stayed the same?
So it's obviously it's built up a lot, especially in the last 5 years. We have a lot more people living here, which means that we have a little bit more traffic, which can be frustrating at times, but it's not overbearing. It's not to the point where if you give yourself, an extra 10 minutes or so, it's not going to be a big deal. It's just knowing what times of year that's happening. As far as being built up, there's a lot of beautiful homes, 2-story homes, 1-story homes, apartments, condos, everything has been built up. So it's in different places to visit. It's a very nice family area, I would say. Very nice family area. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's kind of the main, I guess the main criteria, like one of the main things that you're looking at is to be kind of a good family area.
Yeah. So I grew up here. I grew up in Jupiter my whole life, and for the most part, the neighborhoods that I was in, they were an array of people. We had our older people who would look out for the kids. I know there was one gentleman in the neighborhood. We called him Flag Man because he had a big American flag pole up, and he just was a good mentor. He was a nice guy and older, retired vet, but there's a lot of people that are willing to step in. It takes a village to raise a child, and there's a lot of people willing to just be friendly and teach and be patient. And I think that's really important. I mean, you get a couple bad apples in any bunch, but once you show patience, a lot of times that changes. So I think this area is a very unique and special place. compared to other areas. Again, I haven't traveled a lot, but we not only have the beautiful scenery, we have the people from all different regions, from the United States and outside of the United States. We have our beaches. We have fun things to do with kids. Like there's the Loggerhead Turtle Place where you can go. I go sometimes without the kids. I'll walk around just to see the turtles. If there's hatchlings, you can schedule to go out to the beach with them if it's that time of year.
Yeah. Now, real quick, I don't think a whole lot of people really understand what a loggerhead turtle is, or just how ridiculous. I mean, it's like Bowser. It looks like a ridiculously roided up turtle.
It's
like,
huge.
Yeah.
It's like, they get huge, like 300 pounds they can be. They're enormous if they're an older turtle. And I believe they can live somewhere about 150 years, maybe more. So if you have the privilege of seeing one on the beach, which I have, it's an amazing experience, just nature at its finest.
Yeah, absolutely. So there are a lot of great places to live here in Florida. If you couldn't live like in the Jupiter, Palm Beach area, like where else do you think you would prefer to live?
Outside of Palm Beach County?
Well, we'll say, you know what? Let's do both. Let's say, first off, we'll say Palm Beach County, but Jupiter, Palm Beach, for whatever reason, those are off the table. And we'll say like for the entire state too.
Outside of the state too?
I'm sorry, outside of Palm Beach County. Sorry.
Okay. So I think a neighboring city is North Palm Beach and Juno Beach. They're neighboring cities of Palm Beach, of Jupiter and Palm Beach Gardens. I think both of them are very nice, calm areas. I like calm. If you're looking for something more higher momentum, West Palm, but I'm more of a laid back when I get home. I just would like docile. They're very, very close to the water, both areas. If it's outside of Palm Beach County, I would say Palm City. Palm City is beautiful. Or sometimes Hobe Sound has quite a few nice homes that are very close to the water. Of course, the water's huge over here. If you're close to the beach, you're golden.
Yeah, absolutely. And, probably also stressing out during hurricane season and everything else potentially. But you know what? We'll circle back to that. So another thing real quick, a lot of people, they end up coming here, they like visit, and for whatever reason, they decide this isn't the place. So for you, what parts of Florida, like just in general, what parts of Florida are great places to visit, not so much a place you'd actually want to live?
Well, I just went to Tampa this past weekend, so Tampa was really nice. I went for a competition for my daughter's gymnastics. Again, it was more of a city area, beautiful. It was right on the bay where I visited. But I'm just more of a laid-back kind of person. I don't like the hustle and bustle. So Tampa's nice. I know up north at Kissimmee and Orlando area, of course, Disney is over there. Everybody, a lot of people actually in their 30s and people with kids like to go to Disney. And I think it's neat to ride the roller coasters and experience that as well, or get the food. Of course, we have foodies out there.
Are you a big Disney fan, or is it just a good place to go with the kids?
It's I like it more as a family retreat, as something to do together. I wouldn't go by myself, to be honest. I like Disney movies, but I'm more of a beach goer. I just like the calm, and Disney can be crowded certain times of year. So 4th of July, late October, different times a year, I will see that it gets very, very, very crowded. So I try to avoid it, but I'll endure it for the kids themselves. Yeah, but yeah, Disney's nice, or Busch Gardens, theme parks over there. It just depends what you're looking for.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I've never been to Disney, and I know that's really sacrilegious to be Floridian and not have gone to Disney, but, single, like, no kids. I feel like I'm going to be seen as a problem if I show up at this place without any kids, or worse. Okay, you can either be seen as a potential problem, maybe a predator, or be seen as like a crazy like Disney adult. Like either one of those not great. So
okay, I mean, even crazy Disney adults though, I see it a lot of people in my generation in their 30s and sometimes 40s. They really do enjoy the nostalgia of it, going back, getting the ears, feeling like a kid again. So it's yeah, you might look like a crazy Disney person for a couple of days, but honestly, if it gives you that little bit of happiness, I think it's worth enduring it.
I think it's one of those things where if you weren't going to Disney like as a kid, you're probably not going to be able to just jump into it as an adult. I think that's probably it, because I mean, I didn't read like Harry Potter and all that growing up. So I kind of missed my ticket to Hogwarts, and it's hard to get into it now as an adult. So I think it's something you either like do or don't, just depending on where you were. Yeah.
The other round is cruises. When you go on cruises, that's another thing that's really nice. So
I could really see that. Okay, here's the part for me on Disney cruises where I love the concept. I don't know if I would actually do it though, because first day, like you're like, oh great, that's Gaston walking around. This is so magical. After day 5, like it goes from that's Gaston to okay, that's Dave pretending to be Gaston because we've interacted outside of this role.
I don't know. They're pretty solid with their roles. But it just depends on what you're looking for. So you personally, it wouldn't pertain to. But there are other things in Florida. I know on the West Coast, there is some type of hot spring in the Naples area. Yeah. I haven't visited it, but there is a big hot spring over there that you can visit. Again, more laid back. People go there just to relax and calm down and away from the hustle and bustle.
Yeah. So another big thing that's important to people when they're moving here is just cost of living. Mm-hmm. So would you say living in Florida is affordable?
I would say that it can be affordable if you are already established. If you are a single person moving here and you're going to school, that's also something you can do and get established. If you are brand new to the area and you, let's say an 18-year-old is moving here, you might need a couple roommates to stay afloat. So it is affordable if you are established. If you're just going to jump in feet first, it can be a lot to take on. Yeah.
And I mean, I feel like the lifestyle also kind of plays into it. Like people who try to get into this flex culture, they don't have much, to flex really. Mm-hmm. Like they can really get themselves into a lot of trouble really quickly because, I mean, you're surrounded by the affluent and everything, and there's all sorts of, Louis Vuitton. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Mm-hmm. Okay, Louis Vuitton style stuff all over the place. So
yeah, Louis, Gucci, Prada. There's a lot of high-end products.
There's a lot of high-end stuff, and like some people, they try to go, okay, I want to be like absolute like top quality for like area that I'm at, and it's like, my guy, like you're not. If we're talking affordable here, that's a different conversation. So baseline necessities, pretty affordable. It's when people start layering on like inexpensive lifestyle.
Definitely. Yeah. But there's ways around that too. I've seen women who want the expensive lifestyle. So instead of going out to get their nails every other week, they do it at home and they know how to, and they teach themselves to keep up. Or at secondhand store getting those Gucci or Prada bags. Is it still expensive? Yeah, it can be. But if you like that lifestyle, this is the area for it. We have an array of people. So we have the people that have the Maseratis and the Lamborghinis and the Porsches and the Aston Martins, and we have the people with the Toyota Camrys or the Corollas, the Hondas. I mean, we have everybody. It's just one of those areas where you shouldn't feel left out or that you're missing something because, hey, look, we all live in the same place.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that sunrise costs the same for all of us, so.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, one thing that I've found pretty cool, and this kind of helps with the affordability too, there's not as much flex culture here as what you might find in Miami and other places as well, because, a lot of really wealthy people here who don't necessarily want you to know.
Yep.
Like, I think the biggest flex is when I see like a billionaire and he's wearing not a Rolex, not some really expensive high-end thing. He's wearing a Casio watch that costs like $15 at Walmart.
Yep.
That is like the new flex, I think, of just, I've got everything. This is just fine for me. Like, it's just, oh, that's so cool. Like, I worked with someone who's just really, really wealthy before, and he's showing me this place. It's like a big 7,000 square foot house out on the ocean. Looks absolutely incredible. And we're walking around, and keep in mind, he only lives here maybe a week out of the year. Okay, so it's a flop house for him. It's a little bit more expensive than Airbnb, but he doesn't want the hassle of Vrbo and Airbnb. So we go into the garage to like see like what he's driving. Would you care to guess what vehicle is sitting there in the garage?
I don't know what.
Honda Civic.
See?
Honda, he just have no reason to show off for anybody.
No, we have a lot of people like that. A lot of very, very well-off people. For convenience sake, they have houses here. They may be from different states or even different countries, and they just want to sit in the background. I'm personally the same way. I like being in the background a lot of the time, just mingling and doing my regular routine. So it's a privilege to be in a beautiful area. Why do we need to flex? I mean, there's no reason. There's no reason.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is another question I get fairly often, and just answering this as somebody who's lived here for a while and nothing else. What about like the cost of insurance and all the different types of insurance in there? Because that's one question I get pretty often from people. Like looking at the headlines, you would think it's catastrophic and everyone's getting evicted because they can't afford the insurance and all that anymore. So let's say we take 2,000 square foot, property that's, we'll say it's not on the ocean. Okay, not waterfront. Like, how much insurance are we talking here?
Do they have a pool?
Do they have a pool? Oh, actually, how much extra would it be for a pool?
So it really ranges. It very much ranges. So the areas that I spoke about that are very laid back, Juno Beach, North Palm Beach, usually if you have a single family house over there without a pool, the houses tend to be built a little bit, they're older houses, so to speak. In Florida, they're older houses. Some of them could have been built in the 60s, 70s, 80s. That's considered old over here. So those insurance can start at $6,000 a year, starting point in a good situation. Our market has been a little rocky. So the last 5 years, there were a lot of catastrophic things that occurred where the companies left Florida. Now we see them coming back.
And okay, so we've got insurance companies return. Like, are the same companies or just different companies filling their roles?
Different companies. A lot of them went bankrupt. So the state of Florida has their own insurance company. You must qualify for that one. They stepped in while this turbulent period happened. Now we're seeing the companies that endured it are still here. They are writing more business in areas they weren't before. But we're also seeing new companies to the state of Florida coming here. And now that we have these companies starting to gather up, then they become more competitive. So first it's having them come back to the state, and then they become more competitive. And that's where we're at. We're right in the middle of that transition. So we're waiting to see who's the best in certain zip codes, certain areas, and definitely Juno Beach is a higher end insurance area. Boca Raton can be a little bit more expensive, and Delray Beach. But it just really depends on all the factors of the home. So it's hard to say with insurance.
Like, how expensive is it? Like, is there like any wind mitigation at all going on? There's a lot that can go into it.
A lot. You need inspections in Florida too for homes. You absolutely need them.
Yeah. What about hidden costs in Florida? Because, well, you know what? You might not be a good person to ask this because it's just what you expect now. But, other people, well, let's do this. How do you visit other states very often?
Not typically, no. I don't typically go to other states, honestly. I like it here.
Okay. I was going to say, if you visit other states, what, where you see it, it's like, oh, I'm not getting charged for that? Oh, that's awesome. Like maybe every 5 years I'll visit somewhere. I did go to Pennsylvania a couple years ago for Thanksgiving. And as nice as it was, I did notice certain taxes are different. So I don't believe we have a state tax as... Not income tax, no.
Right.
Yeah.
So our taxes are a little different where in other areas you get two different taxes and we only have one type of tax. I'm just used to it though. So I mean, overall, I couldn't really compare it to anywhere else.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's perfectly fair. I that's kind of what I was thinking, but thought we'd at least try.
Yeah.
What about utilities? Electric bill, Again, we'll use this hypothetical 2,000 square foot, 3-2 house. Are we spending $400 or $500 a month in electricity and all that, or what are we looking at?
So you can, depending on the installation of the house. If your house is insulated, if it's not facing an area where the sun beats on it all day long, it can fluctuate. If you have a central AC unit versus window units, I mean, it really depends on what type of property you have. Most people have central AC in South Florida, so they have the vents throughout the house. Another little fun thing is if we have a cold snap, cold for us, and you put your heat on and you have not run it for a long time, it may not work. So you have to run it at least maybe once a year, once every few months to make sure it's still working. But.
Yeah, and I was talking with somebody actually just last week about this too, because we had that cold snap go through about a month ago where, again, cold for us. It was 40, 50 degrees or something like that. And it's okay, it's not what we're used to, guys.
Yeah, I had to put on a jacket.
I had to put on a jacket here, dadgummit. But the issues some places were running into is their heating units were up on top of the building. And if the temperature got below, I think it was 50 degrees, the unit itself just stopped. And the problem was people were waiting till it got down to 40. And it's well, yes, your thermostat, it should work that way, but just where we're at, just physically where that's located, it's just not going to work. So we ran into some redundancy there. And I'm not an HVAC mechanic, so I'm sure I'm not explaining it very well, but yeah, we ran into some of that. So we're not set up for cold.
Not typically, but the good news is we have a lot of AC techs over here, so that's a huge thing. And also, when the heat hits, your car battery, you need to take a look at, make sure that it's charging properly. I would say a car battery needs to be changed. A regular car battery, not an electric one, needs to be changed probably every 2 to 3 years, roughly, in Florida.
Just because of the direct heat.
Yes.
And all that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll count that as one of the hidden costs. On the cars as well, Floridians wash their cars a lot more than some other places.
Yes.
So unless you want to be that person that sticks out like a sore thumb, which is not flex culture, it's just...
But there's a reason behind that.
Yes.
So you wash your cars and you wax them because of the sun. The sun beating on the top of the car or the hood of the car will cause the paint to start to deteriorate very, very quickly. And in 10 years, if you do not wash your car regularly, it will start to rust the paint and cause these spots and blotchiness all over the car.
And there's also like all the salt in the air too, that I'm
Yes.
sure isn't helping.
That's, the salt. So that's another, hidden cost if you're close to the water as far as the cars and your home, washing the windows, getting that done either professionally or learning how to do it yourself so that you don't have this buildup on your windows of film. So
Got it. Yeah. Outstanding. Well, we're going to take just a couple minute break here real quick. Just kind of reminding you folks who've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you do know I have a relocation guide for those of you considering making the move here to the Palm Beach County area. If you'd like to get your hands on a copy, do make sure you go to my website, pbcliving.kw.com. Link for that is in the description section down below. Just click that link, scroll down a little bit, the little part where you fill in your information, put your contact information in there, and do also make sure you put Florida Relocation Guide so I know what to send you. And also, if you'd like any updates on just what's going on in specific parts of the Palm Beach County area as far as the real estate market, do make sure you text the specific area that you'd like to receive information for on the number that is going to be on your screen, and we'll make sure to send you those market updates that we do once a month, just so you can kind of stay in touch with what's going on. But yeah, Lindsay, let's go and play a game real quick.
okay.
This is the first time we've done this, so we are trying something new here. Florida Man.
Oh.
There are so many headlines that are just gold. We're going to read off 3.
Okay.
One of them is false.
Okay.
You need to find the one that is incorrect, that's made up. Okay, so, all right, number 1. Florida man arrested for throwing alligator through drive-through window. Okay, so that's number 1. Police. Florida man who fell in water after drinking sprayed a fire extinguisher on himself to dry off.
That's interesting.
And number 3. Florida man arrested after attempting to use giant inflatable flamingo as getaway vehicle in bank robbery.
I would think that number 3 is false. I can see an odd situation where there's somebody throwing an alligator through a drive-through window for.
That's just something we do here.
I mean, they're just readily available. So there's that's a
It's like
thing
I
to
said, give me
remember.
direct check. Give me full change.
Yeah, no, that's something to keep in mind too. We do have alligators everywhere, so they could be in your pond. Of course, Florida Wildlife and Control will come out and take care of them, but that's a normal occurrence. And please do not feed them. Do not feed them marshmallows. We know a lot of people like to feed them marshmallows specifically. So
Such a bad idea. Yeah, because the problem is too, all they see, bright, round, fluffy thing. I eat it. That's delicious. What do you think they're going to do when they see someone walking by with a perfectly white T-shirt?
or a dog.
Or a dog that's perfectly white.
We've had people fight them back for their dogs and win. So it's a thing. It has happened. So
That's awesome. Okay, well you did get it right. That was the made up one.
yeah, the
But
flamingo.
the fact there was like a moment of like trying to figure it out.
It's possible here. It is highly possible. I did say we have an array of people, good and not so sharp.
Eclectic. Very eclectic. Quirky.
Yeah.
Quirky,
Yes.
I'd say.
Something like that.
So switching gears then. One thing a lot of folks are concerned about when they're thinking about moving to Florida are the hurricanes. Are they something to be concerned about? Like, are they really as big of an issue that the headlines make you think they are?
So hurricanes, they can be an issue. I don't recall a bad one in the last couple of years, but that's on the East Coast. So we have a lot of homes that have been retrofitted to protect against hurricanes. I know the newer built homes are required to have either impact windows or hurricane-proof windows, from my understanding. The roofs themselves, they are now, they know that different shaped roofs are safer so that the roof doesn't get ripped off.
What's the ideal shaped roof?
It's like a pyramid. It's called a hip roof. So it looks like a pyramid shape so that nothing can get under a roof. Like if you have a roof that's gable, that's just like a folded piece of paper, a gust of wind can go underneath it and rip the roof off.
Got it.
Essentially.
But when you say the pyramid, then it's like on 4 like separate sides. Is that what we're talking?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah, a pyramid, exactly like it sounds. It looks like a pyramid shape. Now, it may be not as pointy, but yeah, it's a pyramid shape for the most part.
Gotcha.
The one thing with hurricanes, or two things I would say are notable, the hurricanes can cause flooding. Flooding is not included in regular homeowners insurance. The flooding is more commonly seen, or if there's a hurricane, tornadoes can spin off of them. So we have a little bit of everything that can happen, omitting earthquakes. We don't have earthquakes, so that's nice.
Yeah.
But it's not something we see typically. It's just an act of God, so to speak, that you never know. You never know.
Yeah. Do you remember your first hurricane?
I'm so used to them. Maybe I remember going out as a kid, maybe about 10 or 12 years old, probably about 12 years old, in the eye of the hurricane just to assess damages. That's what we did. So there was a calm in the middle of the storm, and we just went outside and walked around. If there was debris in the drains, we would move the debris out of the way to prevent from flooding. That's something that one of our neighbors showed us. George actually was the flag man. He showed us that, and I took to it. So there's just little things. You do want to assess the damages I wouldn't say maybe go out in the middle of it, but I'm a native, so yes, I will venture off in the middle of it to see what's going on.
And I'm glad you brought that up, not to go outside, because I think like a lot of newer people, they'll get to the eye of the hurricane, they think it's done, they step outside, or they think, oh, it's the eye of the hurricane, and they step outside and they kind of wander around a little bit. How are we talking minutes, hours, 10, 15 minutes? Like how long does the eye of the hurricane take, just to kind of prepare people for that?
Yeah, it depends how fast the hurricane is traveling. So there's, again, no way to know.
No predicting it, yeah.
But I would say do not go around driving. We have had power get knocked out for days at a time in the past. So I would say have a grill with either charcoal or a gas grill readily available just in case. It hasn't happened in a long time, and usually Florida Power and Light or NextEra Energy are really good about getting the power back on. They really work hard. But when it gets knocked out, there's such a large area, it usually gets knocked out that you have to be patient.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that if you're concerned about your power getting knocked out, I mean, generators,
Yes.
Those are always options. But also if you make sure you're on about the same place on the grid as like hospitals
Yes.
and schools, like those are number one priority.
Yeah.
So if you can put yourself in the same group as them, you're probably going to get your power back on sooner.
Yeah, or it won't go out. Sometimes they don't even go out, so that's something to keep in mind.
Yep. So, okay, talked a little bit about the preventative stuff there. Yeah, for people still apprehensive about it though, like, I don't know, how would you recommend they prepare? Well, let's say this. Let's say they are on the ground now. They just got word, in a week we're going to have like, big old Hurricane Hulk is coming our way. And it's here to take names. We'll just say that. What would you recommend that they do?
If you are really nervous about a hurricane and you have a couple of days to prepare, I would say make sure you have the hurricane impact windows, or if you have shutters, metal shutters. Again, you can't just go to the store and say, I need shutters right before a hurricane. It doesn't work like that. So you have to do that ahead of time. I've even seen people where they're gripping at straws, so they get plywood and put it up. So if any type of debris hits the window, it doesn't break it.
The plywood can't it can't do much.
It's not going to do a lot, but it helps from the debris hitting the windows, and it sometimes it helps prevent the noise. So those people that are nervous, and also evacuate, leave, go up north, drive up to Georgia, or if you're that nervous about a storm. It's not ideal, but if you really are having an issue, I would certainly recommend it. It's better for peace of mind.
Yeah, and probably sooner rather than later.
Yes, don't wait till last minute.
If it's the last minute, I mean, plane tickets are easily $1,000, and the roads are just backed up from here to Key West, pretty much. Like it's
hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely a lot.
And for businesses, if they have delivery entries, maybe put sandbags. Sandbags help too. So.
Yeah. What about the gators, the snakes, the bugs? Like, talking to some people, that's a big deterrent for them too. Like, do they need to be worried about getting eaten by gators when they get here?
I mean, typically you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone. Also, we have sharks. I think Florida is one of the top 3 shark bite capitals in the world. So we do have sharks, we have gators. Those usually leave you alone if you leave them alone. It's the bugs, I would definitely say, are the ones that are the worst. We have like flying ants. I actually noticed a lot of them yesterday. They decided to come back out, but during that time, then you'll see a lot of dragonflies. Dragonflies eat bugs, so that's a good thing when you see them. Also, palmetto bugs are like a flying cockroach. So those are scary. If you ask a Floridian what the scariest thing about Florida is, they're probably going to tell you a palmetto bug. I mean, it's awful.
Not the smidges, like the actual palmetto bug?
They can be huge. They can be like just giant flying cockroaches, they look like. And you just have to spray around the houses. Sometimes you can't prevent them from getting in, and it's just crossing that bridge when you get to it, because it will happen. You will have a palmetto bug come across your house eventually. It's just being prepared, either some type of shoe ready to smash them, or a swat or something to get rid of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they just get everywhere. I mean, at least I've not gotten any chiggers here, so that's really good. I mean, those are in places like Texas where they're like little red bugs. They get under your skin, and then they lay eggs, and then it's just, big red welts. And the upside is it's itchy. It's itchy as all get out. Doesn't do any long-term damage, but, it's itchy as all get out. And at least I can smash a palmetto bug,
Yeah, they can be, I think the palmetto bugs are the worst of it. Like I said, gators, I actually saw one in the middle of a median sunbathing with my daughter this past weekend while we were driving on I-60, Interstate 60. So that was neat to see him just hanging out there, maybe 6-7 foot gator, not bothering anybody, but
just minding his own business.
Exactly. You leave them alone, they leave you alone.
It's like he just survived the great cold snap of 2026, so he's happy.
Yeah, that's it.
So just kind of looking at the different pockets of communities here in the Palm Beach County area. I mean, there's a lot of variety here. So I'm going to give you 3 communities, and you tell me which one you would prefer to live in.
Okay.
So we are going to take Jupiter, and we're going to take Palm Beaches off the table.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to assume like money is not really concerned here. You are absolutely loaded. You can live anywhere.
Okay.
So let's say Palm Beach, let's say Boca Raton, and let's say Wellington. Like, which one of those areas do you think you'd probably end up going to?
So when you say Palm Beach specifically, are you talking the island of
Talking about the island.
Okay,
yeah.
the island of Palm Beach. Wellington or...
I think it was Boca Raton.
Boca,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Wellington, I think.
Wellington?
Because
it's kind of assuming, yeah.
it's more of an area where you have an ability to have horses, and more of an equestrian area, and I think the animals are just beautiful. If you have that ability, Wellington, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the beautiful ranches out there, but there's still like some smaller farms that are just farms.
Yeah. The roads are a little bit wider, so the traffic has a little bit more space, and I think that would be nice.
Yeah. What areas in kind of the Palm Beach County area would you say are ideal for families, where they're kind of situated for that? And then like if we had somebody who's like young professional, hard driver, all that stuff, like where do you think you'd put that person?
So I would say as far as a young professional, maybe depending on what they're doing, if it's more a business type office, I would say maybe West Palm Beach because of just how condensed it is. There's more, it's more of a city life, and I think that would be what they are looking for. Families, the Palm Beach Gardens area, I think, again, because I've lived here, I can see how many families are here. Jupiter, really North Palm, Juno. I'm even seeing more single-family homes and more families in Royal Palm Beach. It just depends on if you're looking for a gated neighborhood, if you want just a house on your own land, if you want a large piece of land, if you're looking for a condo, if you're a family that wants to go to the beach all the time. There's, in Jupiter off of a beach road, there are several different gated condo units across the street from the beach, and those are, I mean, some of them are big, some are townhouses. In Juno Beach, off of Marcinski Road, there are a lot of nice homes over there. Some of them are townhomes, so it just depends what you're looking for.
Yeah. And kind of the nice thing about this area, we've got 39 separate towns, villages, like, whatever you want to call them, cities. 39 of them, and each one of these areas, it's like they make a conscious decision on what they're going to lean into. West Palm Beach, we're going to be the urban area. Jupiter, Tequesta.
Yeah, Tequesta is one I forgot. Jupiter, Tequesta are kind of we interchange them.
Yeah, they're kind of different sides of the same coin.
Yeah, but Tequesta is also a very, very family-oriented area from what I see.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But each one of these communities, they like have a vibe that they just lean into all the way. So I mean, that's what makes it so you can go from Tequesta, sleepy little, old Florida town vibe, all the way down to Boca or West Palm, where I'm gonna say Miami very light. That's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah.
Which actually, that brings me to another question. We often get kind of lumped into the same category as Miami. So how would you say, West Palm, well, not just West Palm, we'll say the entire area here, Palm Beach County, how are we like and dislike Miami?
Our traffic is much better than Miami. I can put that out there. Miami traffic at certain times of the day and night and weekends is awful, just so awful. So I would recommend that area more public transportation. We have a Brightline train that goes back and forth from our area to Miami, Palm Beach County to Miami. I think Palm Beach County area is more diverse, and Miami is more geared towards hustle and bustle. So I think it's just a little bit faster pace. It's not as many different types of people from what I'm seeing. It's just more urban of what I see.
Yeah, and that traffic really is something else. Like you gotta make sure you're hydrated, stretched out, in your happy place before getting there.
Say a prayer before going on the highway.
Say a prayer before getting there. I've actually got an episode I'm filming down there in a couple days here, and I'm part of me is like super excited because it's a great interview and all that. I can't wait for that. But yeah, that traffic. Just go to your happy place. Just get prepared to get honked at a million times for no reason.
Yeah, when you go, I would say just check the times. You're planning on leaving, and if you're leaving later in the afternoon, I would definitely give yourself additional time for driving.
Yeah, I'm hoping to be like wheels up, leaving by around 4:30. I think I'm probably going to get back here probably around 8 or so.
You're good. 4:30, you will definitely get caught in traffic. 100%. I would put money on that.
Lovely. Okay, we'll circle back to that later. I'm pretty sure that's going to be accurate, though. What about the schools in this area?
The schools are wonderful. I don't think I've ever heard anything bad about the schools. Elementary, middle, and high schools here are really, really good. They're all very different in the way they do things, too, which is interesting.
How are they different?
So, for instance, like there's a couple middle schools that are a few miles apart. One of the middle schools is very much by the books, very strict, very precise. They have a lot of great programs at all the schools. Let me just put that out there. And the other middle school that's down the road is very laid back. There is a dress code, but if a kid comes out of dress code, they don't typically get written up the first couple of times. They're very understanding. They give them chances. So it's just what type of personality your child has. And I have two opposite personality children, so they go to these two different middle schools. One likes things very precise, on point, follow the rules to a T. The other one, it can be a little bit forgetful, and they work with them very, very nicely, both of them. It's just what type of personality your child has, and see if you can either have them in a choice program, which is like a prep program to either teaching or business. I know my son has learned about stocks in his middle school.
Really?
Yes.
Stocks?
Yes.
Man, I cannot think of a more South Florida class to be teaching.
I mean,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's very, very, and that's the laid back school. So, and they teach so many things. There's, again, a variety. So it's very important to look at the schools if you have kids. If you get them in a good daycare program and then a good elementary school, it just sets them on such a good pace for the rest of their school career. So...
Yeah, and I mean, then after that, too, there are good colleges and everything else they can plug into, just depending on what degree and field they're getting into, obviously. But I mean, realistically, how many of us actually use the degree that we got? But yes, great programs here as well on the college level. Yeah,
colleges. I went to Palm Beach State College, so I do promote them. Palm Beach State College does have free tutoring, or at least they did when I was there. So if you're having trouble certain times of day, weekends even, they have tutors to help you. And it's, if you're local living here for over a year, you get the in-state tuition. And then if your child decides to go somewhere else, that's wonderful. But at least it will, for the families that try to teach them when they're younger, you know, to be a little bit more concerned with the finances, that's a good way for them to step in and see how they do at a college.
Now, for someone who's just arrived here, you know, let's say you had to give them a list, 3 things that they need to go do to, you know, to get out and have fun as soon as possible. Like, what 3 things would you recommend that they go and do?
Go to the beach.
Okay.
If you have a chance to go on a boat, we have quite a few places you can rent boats or become part of a boat club. Or go fishing charters. So boat, beach, and maybe take a look at one of the local areas that has animals. They have, like I was mentioning, the Loggerhead Turtle Center. You can go over there and see these turtles and walk around. They're usually being rehabilitated before they're released back into the wild. There's another small center in Tequesta, I believe it is, area that you can go and touch the little starfish and hold them. And usually these places do not charge you to get in. They just ask that you give a donation, whatever you can, and you're allowed to go walk around. So it's something where anybody can go do it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. So what are some things like here in Palm Beach County where you just really, it's so unique that you can only do it or see it here in Palm Beach County. You can't really do it anywhere else.
I would say the marine life. If you go to the beach, if you're fortunate enough, you're going to see manatees, you're going to see starfish, you're going to see conchs, like actual conchs coming out of the shell. You're going to see, I forgot what they're called. You'll see all types of different marine life. I think that's just a huge staple over here, being outside. And we have a lot of walking trails. Just you'll be driving down the road and there's a little trail off to the side. You can pull over and walk it. I mean, a lot of things. We have a dog beach area. So if you have a dog, there is a certain area you can bring your dog to. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I do like that it looks like they really enforce people cleaning up after their dogs too. Because I don't want to go to the beach and be stepping in landmines.
Yes.
All day, be sunbathing, and then realize like I've got a big pile right next to me.
No, I've never seen it. I've never seen any type of landmine from a dog. I actually also have seen they've put up buckets now. So if you want to go to the beach and help clean up, if there's a little bit of garbage, sometimes people have birthday parties there and they leave garbage or it flies away. You can walk around with a bucket on the beach, off the beach, and pick up the trash and then return the bucket. And a lot of people do it just because it gives them something to do and it helps our environment. So
yeah, I mean, I definitely do that every Wednesday. I go down there and do some sprint workouts on the beach, which that's not relevant, but why leave it out? But go down there and just in like walking around, you can get like a fair amount of like trash in there. And the thing is, like, you can have that trash down there. The beach still doesn't look cluttered just because it's such a large space. Mm-hmm. But, still that trash does need to get picked up. So, yeah, be a good person, pick up some trash.
So you mentioning the sprints, actually, it does pertain. A lot of people go to the beach and run. A lot of people decide that that's where they want to work out. And this area in Palm Beach County is a very active area. People like working out, they like running, they like weightlifting. We have adult sports. We have adult basketball leagues. We have adult, what's the new one? Pickleball.
Oh, God.
Tennis.
I hate that sport so much. I know it's the fad. I'm known the millennial. I'm supposed to like it, but good Lord, I hate pickleball.
No, it has a lot of rules. Once you get the rules, but it's tennis. We have a lot of volleyball areas. I mean, everything. There's a ton of different sports and activities to do.
Yeah, and like everybody here is just like incredibly beautiful, in shape people. Like that's
yeah. It seems like that. You'll see people walking down the road, and you're like, maybe I should work out some more.
I feel inspired.
Yeah, actually, it does. Once you have a momentum of people doing one thing, usually it causes a change. And I've seen it firsthand, and I do work out too. I go to the gym. I'm not fortunate enough to be out during the day usually because I'm at the office, but I do go to the gym at night. Yeah.
So there's a lot that Florida has going for it. And for that reason, I mean, we're still getting like a net of, I think it's like 22,000 people a year decide to move to Florida. So netting, we're still getting about 22,000 a year, at least for 2025. But last year, we still like over 500,000 people did decide to leave. So we're still gaining, but there's still a lot of people who are deciding to leave. So for the people who do decide like, hey, this isn't for me, like I'm out, like what are some of the common reasons for people leaving that you've seen?
Well, one we touched base on is price point. Sometimes you have a lot of retired people and they are on a fixed income, so it's hard for them to sustain. or if they're not leaving the state of Florida, I see a lot of people that will sell their homes and then move in towards the middle of the state. And they're actually building up a lot of new homes over there that are affordable for most families. Most families can afford them. It's a very good price point. We have retired people that will leave. We have people that have families elsewhere. I'm first generation Floridian, so my family, me and my children are the only people, just about the only people here. I think there's maybe a handful of us that have kids that are still here, but we're all in different areas. And then all of our other family members are up north. So it could be just to be closer to family, closer to brothers, sisters, mom, dad, aunts, uncles, anything really. But I think price point is a big one.
Yeah. And I mean, like you mentioned, there's, different things you can do about that. You can move inland a little bit more because you'd be surprised how much those prices come down once you're not close to the ocean anymore, which good thing about Florida, you're never more than 60 miles away from the ocean. Yeah. So,
make a day trip, or a weekend trip.
It's always a day trip. Yeah, you don't have to be 10, 15 minutes away.
No, and it's certainly worth it if you can afford a home in the middle of the state and then go plan a trip to go to the beach either side of the state of Florida, especially because most of the time you're working. It's a 9-to-5 area, and at night you go home. If you have a family, you take care of the kids, you take care of the dogs, the cats, whatever pets you may have. You make dinner, make sure school stuff is done. So usually Monday through Friday, you are keeping up. One day out during the week, you are grocery shopping, doing chores, and then, church on Sundays. And that's also another thing. We have a lot of great churches over here. We have very large churches and very small churches all in between. So I think that's a huge point to make as well. We have a vast community, and from our Jewish community, our Christian community, we have all types of religious facilities. So I think that's really important too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this. What are 3 solid churches where you would say, that's a good one. You should at least, not saying it's necessarily perfect for everyone, but you should at least consider it.
So one of the larger churches in the area is Christ Fellowship. They are a Christian church, and they have a few different locations. They are one that a lot of people like because of the ability to have different programs for the kids or families or even single people. They have groups that meet and do activities together. Another church, which I'm biased to, is a little church in Jupiter. It is Harvest Community Church, and they are a little Christian church. I'm Christian, so I will know more about those churches. And it is a small, just Bible-based church. I think we do have video services, so you can watch and see. A lot of them do. And then we have a lot of Catholic churches. St. Patrick's is a good church. We have a ton of churches everywhere, and we have Jewish synagogues too, all over. So it's just looking for which one pertains to you, seeing if they have maybe a video service where you can check it out and see if it's more traditional or if it's a louder, more upbeat church or place of worship. So it's really what you prefer. I mean,
yeah, and kind of the nice thing about church shopping, I guess these days, is most churches will have their stuff up online. So if they're just completely off the wall crazy, you'll figure that out pretty quick just by watching it. You don't necessarily have to physically go.
Yeah, no. And we always welcome everybody. I know a lot of times you have people standing at the front door, the greeters, and I think that's really nice to get to know people. And most of the churches I've been to over here, I've gone to quite a few living here. I see a lot of very nice people, and it's not just one day Sunday and then you're done. It's, you carry it with you throughout the week. It's important.
So in wrapping up here, what would you say are the biggest pros and the biggest cons of, you know what, we're going to make it a little bit more specific here. What are the biggest pros and the biggest cons of Palm Beach Gardens?
Palm Beach Gardens, it's close to the water. That's a pro. We have a lot of very good schools in Palm Beach Gardens specifically, another pro. A con would be that a lot of the neighborhoods over here are gated, or they have a homeowners association. If you're looking for something not in an association, that's something that's very difficult to find a place without an association. If you do, the house is probably more expensive, usually much more expensive.
Just because it's there in much more demand, it sounds like, yeah.
And it's usually a bigger place.
Yeah.
Another thing that is a con is, of course, the bugs. But that's throughout Florida. South Florida, you really have to spray around the house quite frequently. There's all kinds of natural products, or you can call a pest control person, but that's something it needs to be upkept with. You have to keep the bugs away. And dust. You have a lot of dust in Florida.
Yes. Definitely. Like every single morning, like you're probably going to be like, you have the little Swiffer on the ground. If you got like some tile or something like that, you got to do it like every day, or
maybe every other day.
Every other day. It does start to accumulate quickly. I don't even want to know what's going on with the carpets.
Yeah, just get a little Roomba, let it do the touch-ups for you, and you'll get by.
Absolutely. Well, Lindsay, I really do appreciate you coming on here and kind of sharing your perspective and, what it's like living here in the kind of the Palm Beach County, South Florida area. So I really do appreciate that. Everyone else, thank you very much for watching. If you're been watching this show for a little bit and you'd like to be a guest on the channel as well, feel free to go to the website down below, reach out, and let's get you on here and get your perspective put on here, whether positive, negative, or anything in between. Do feel free to reach out. But thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.